and welcome to probably my first video that I've done in a while. What I'm going to be reviewing for everyone is a very, very good comic. As you can see, the title is up here, called Chasing Hitler. And at first I was like, when I saw the name, I was going, okay, is this going to be one of those comics where I'm going to read it and groan? Actually, no, you're not. This was actually the focus of a Kickstarter. Probably want to say back in 2016. You'll see the names on the top. Haley Nitz is the actual writer of it, and the kicker is that Haley is a high school junior. Jai Nitz is her uncle who has worked in comics, helped her translate the entire into the entire format. Basically, Haley came up with a theory. Alright, what would happen if Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun escaped from the Führer bunker? Well, this story explores it. As you can see, we've got the title characters. One is a regular U.S. soldier. The other is a member of the British Royal Army. Two officers who are charged, as they say, in chasing Hitler. Alright, let's begin. This is the digital version from Comixology. You can get it for $1.99. Let's get rolling. You see, the setting is the day where Hitler has decided to check out at the Reich Chancellery in Berlin. Of course, it starts out with Albert Speer basically signing his own death warrant, as he says. And this is an actual part in history where Speer tells Hitler that the war is lost. Everyone is still loyal to the Führer at this point. You see being greeted by Eva Braun, which the artists did a pretty good job. They didn't want to make them too pretty, didn't want to make them too ugly. As you've seen in historical context, Hitler was not a pretty man. And this is also historical fact that towards the end of the war, Hitler wanted every man, woman, child, anyone that was able to hold a firearm. And his generals opposed it. And as you saw the famous scene in Das Untergang, or The Downfall, well, where Hitler goes ballistic. So basically, Hitler dismisses his best friend, and he tells Eva that the war is lost. So we get to the scene where we get to our two intrepid men here, the Brit and the American, or the Brit and the Yank. Basically, they're stopped at a checkpoint. This was the Ruhr pocket, where the Americans and the Russians were doubling in. Americans from the west side, Russians from the east. But basically, at this point, everyone had to confirm orders at this point. And as you can see, we already have a little bit of drama with our American soldier. But here is how we're introduced to them. Major Alex Taylor and Major Connor Walsh. See the scene where the Chancellery is utterly destroyed. Hitler thinking about the glory days before he enacts his famous plan. He realizes the Soviets are upon him, And then Ava drops him with reality that Mussolini was captured and hanged. As you can see, this is how the plan starts. Basically, this entire book is going to take place throughout 1945. The Americans, well, the Allied forces as a whole, think that the war has been won. They think, all right, Hitler's dead. All we have to do is conquer Tojo and the Japanese Imperial Army. And he gives the plan. The remains buried and shot. But he does have the idea that, hey, before we die, we get married. And still, ever the charismatic person, he's still calling himself the Wolf. But, explaining to General Jeffries, Eisenhower and Churchill did give the order for Alex and Connor to capture Hitler. But, as with all war efforts, we're a bit limited. There is plenty of action, there is plenty of story throughout this entire comic. Here's where we leave you. Don't want to spoil the entire book for you, but again, it is $1.99 on Comixology. It's a very good read. Instructed by someone who is outside of the business with help from someone inside of the business, her very own uncle. If you want to see something like Richard C. Meyer, which Diversity in Comics, your boy Zach, says, if you want to move the needle, then support projects like this. Haley is not shown to, have any leanings one way or the other. As I said, she's still a high school junior. If you want to support her, as the future of comics, as the future of writing, buy projects like this. As I said, it's coming to a close now at the end of the 4-part series. This is one of 4. All of the books have been sold at $1.99. The 4th one is coming out soon, and that'll finish off the series. But Red 5 Comics did put together a spectacular team for this comic. So if you want to truly move the needle, if you want to show the industry that, no, we don't accept what you give out, buy a book like this from a girl who should be the future of the industry, not what we have at the moment. As always, I thank you for watching this video. Always have a good one.